Shall I wait until you now or what should you? Oh,
I didn't want you to just walk out in the middle of me. Thanks.
What choice do I have now that you've got the hours?
I'm going to read lots of new things, which is nice, unless you saw me on Thursday. Some saint you're struck, backward bruised to baking ashes, the timing is on already, steady take down the amputate for what is meant to be brutal, lost but felt, all strands say so, soft the path to the door melts in my sight, shimmies to a shelter of a sun said high, some straight above the amputate means it's brutal, a lot is lost of shelter already, steady some struck, bruise melts the door baking as ashes strands at the path the door, a sun is steady your high said straight about the side, shimmy felt timing is on for what is meant to be, saints down steady down backwards your backwards baking bruise to the sun, strands say lost soft strands amputate my sun brutal melt some sun say sun some shelter. I found this poem in the folder that has my bank statements in it between April 2011 and October 2011 was this, which isn't that weird for me because I find poems around places. I don't really know when I wrote it and I don't remember writing it, so what happened within the lengths of stereo, where the weather was solar and a safety suggested we bind for the lighted victories that were at once us being young and all else seeming huge and burning. With the candles out, I see a splint of cascading difference, perhaps the type I like to blindness out by before. Slappings in the bank Eyes down in order to hear, to be witness, call it fraught and oscillating on the backs of our surnames, what we bring to the sand and drops, tote like all desperate to say a thing with paint from mornings of calm grain trawling to say the thing anyone says they can say in silencing our persons, our dens, our container, caress someone to love you like you hold in potentials pricked and tasting from balloons we sent to sky beneath tranquilizer hoof shots taught us to run still life to get higher than that habitable whole from form theme and opportunity jobbing ourness only partially satiates this craving for a structure. I get my feet open with these accordions and whinges to decorate on wings, trustless tongue fastened upon a belief in tapped keyboards outpaces the limpness of hands and DIY satisfaction. Forest your way through that stray clawed your back, not me, I am heart klepto, I'm mad for you, washed and full of sprite when it was power of the chasing in beach caverns crass now to dip and hurl and magenta stand firm on earthy soil mat, let gravity crush your toes or take you baked and you boat and sink for me because you asked us for living and it went to caramel negotiating the point of your finger, point to my doing with this, what am I doing at this ledge, tidal up to me, touch me in that 3-layer knowing of the fear trap of trying not to say fuck the way you thought you hear it sometime said, nor walkings of reclamation, braid scales on your doorways, baskets of them later shed there in these units, whipping and cables convert us for wanting to tell of the goods and only those. I find it content to be upright to such and verbalize the echo of a vertebral frog upon a neck, name tags torn out now, the instant guide to learn a language sits and sucks, charring a jar in the hall of now soft pallets. I was only trying to ear into the productive mechanism of these group listenings, the corner and the catapult, and all that threw behind you to pester me and practice your technique upon my savings and pocketed chance. The counter-contradiction of the vulnerable was to draw itself on all fours, us beguiled, us descendant, us cloud-coated origami surfaced and craned to fly, yet with all our validity pawned we are waiting wasted. We grow with the seams of our afternoons smothered by expectancy and such expanse of offering. If it is easier to ask forgiveness than permission, seek us only as the imperative creates its situation. This was set to settle as this task addressed, tempted by ideals of motherless memory in the moment of crash, that is broken bends, apologies blend in that prophecy edge and fulfill the disquiet. Admission to your singular responsibility is no more mentioned than remembered as granted. We no longer rush for gold but gateways, genuine and gathered in perfected proportions to fit two unidentical bodies and their trailing typewritten resume. How we mess with us. We sabotage and revel in the complaint of stuck keys struck upon our ribboned backs. We fashioned them that way and for that purpose. In time to fool, the tricking of type the cartoon thigh meat will not prevent us in medieval nor chew and chuck our clocks from our alligator stomachs shields to the blows. Pleasure taught us out, never filtered the chaos of sitting still beside another, a house line, a leftover bee, stain on the last corner stand. Yarn of social lust, you hover cusp and clasp your destitute breach of the instinctive solitude, all closer, huddled, clammy and crumbed. This is called community engagement. The pointlessness of a pen has never felt more miniature, trying to write beside every dawn when really the act of breakfast was enough shared. The hands as an entry point, inviting latitude, draw guides, muscle tea, and make discussion. Arranging bones we be later clarified in visceral sheets, physically bearing the action and aim of this keen exterior. Ghost-shaped, static, or something close to solemnity, colours justness into the outer yellowed line. Who knew the gap was to be filled with sticky person states, interconnecting sugars with a subtle frown in the chin, synapses, pathway, command, and confuse it, operating in understanding of the synapses, synapses operating in understanding of the heightened temperature of grief. Today, all that matters is not what I think it fosters. Self-satisfaction isn't the truthfully soil-eyed straw-born weaver who still sits still, though we no longer look up. The head gets tired if it waves in all directions. Ambitious, you grow full stomachs and feed them to me. That is without whole. Where is reciprocity, the eloquence of happiness washed by a mouthwash leaves, interlacing the frame to the roof? This is how my hands move. This is as they melt. Sequence 1 and sequence 2 are equally lusting of continual statement. What is responsibility when the air is everywhere and in me too quick? Thank you.